What's good, everybody? It's your boy Money Marco. How y'all doing today? How's everyone doing today? So, boom, I just posted up a short, I say a day ago, right? Maybe 2 days ago. I don't know. Um, I did that short. I actually recorded that short months ago before my divorce. It was actually the beginning of the separation. I posted that video months ago. I mean, not posted. I recorded that video months ago. It's been in my phone. This is before I even started doing YouTube. I recorded that video, right? So, I'm trying to get the subscribers up. So I'm posting shorts and all that. That short got like 400 something views, but only 2 subscribers came from that. That's crazy. So please be kind enough to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'll be greatly appreciated by that, you know. But one thing about the short, man, someone said something goofy in the comments. Someone said something real goofy in the comments, and I think it was a woman, of course. She said, "So what's your point, sir? Tell me you're goofy without telling me you're goofy. What you mean what my point is? So since you don't really understand and can't comprehend, I told you we in idiocracy. I told you we're getting closer and closer to idiocracy. People don't have no common sense. People just don't have no sense, period. So since you don't understand what I was saying in the short, I'm going to break it down for you today. All right? Roll the first clip.
Women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids. And I've said this before, marriage isn't marriage anymore. And this is the problem we have with women. Like men tend to be better people than us. Yeah, they really do. They tend to, they tend to do the right thing. They do.
Species, I agree.
I mean, there's a reason we have phrases like a man of his word, right? Yeah. A woman of her word. Because men will actually stick things out. Women, when it's hard, we just leave. And really, the family doesn't work when it's about you. It's supposed to be about your kids. Modern mentality is me before the family. I would say traditionalism is the family before me, especially in women. I've done hundreds of shows interviewing people about relationships. And what I find is the 60-year-olds tend to, a lot of those women led their daughters astray. There's a reason we're in this, right? A lot of those women had the wrong mentality when it came to marriage.
In a nutshell, that's exactly what I was saying in my video. I was saying that when it comes to these divorces, the woman is the one who's most likely to break up the home. That's what I said in the video. I said normally the men are the ones who would stick it out for the sake of the kids, because we know how important it is for a family and kids to have a 2-parent household. One thing kids love to see, they love to see their parents together. I'm going to get a little personal. When my boys used to see me show their mom love, of course they'll say, ew. They'll be like, ew. But they'll be happy. They'll be smiling when it happens. They love to see that. Right? So when the home gets broke up and the dad is now not in the household, what do you think the type of effect it has on the kids to see their mom and dad not together? That's one thing women don't think of when they break up the home and the unit. And this is why I said women are selfish in nature, because they will leave a marriage just because they're quote unquote not happy. If that man isn't going upside your head, if that man isn't cheating, whatever else is going on in the relationship can be fixed. But it takes 2 to fix those problems. The problem is, it's always one who's trying to fix the problem. And that one is always the man, because men we're solution based. We always are trying to solve problems. That's what we do. We're problem solvers in nature. Naturally, we're problem solvers. So we're always going to try to come up to a solution. If there's a problem in the marriage, we're always the ones trying to find a solution to how we can make this marriage better. The problem is it's never the woman trying to come up with the solution. They don't even take accountability and think they're even doing anything wrong 9 times out of 10 when it comes to the marriage. We talked about that in the last video, right? So instead of fixing the marriage for the sake of the kids, they would just leave and leave the man in a downtrodden position, because now he has to pay for not only the home he's in, he has to pay for her home too. He has to take care of 2 households, right? And they're so selfish because when they leave, they're banking off of the fact that you're going to have to support them, whether you're in the house or not. They're banking off the fact that you're going to have to support them without being in the house. They want the benefit of you in the home without you being in the home. Right? And this is what I was talking about. This is what I was saying. Roll the next clip.
4 years ago, looking at data from 17 countries, researchers in the Netherlands, writing in the journal Demographic Research, found that when it comes to a child's educational progress, quote, parental divorce had a larger impact than parental death. And that's just one data point of many. And it's a data point that says, in this very measurable way, it's better for a child if his mother dies rather than divorces his father, and vice versa. Divorce requires a conscious rejection of the family unit, a deliberate betrayal of the vows. Death usually doesn't imply either of those things. And that's why it breeds a lifelong resentment and confusion. It derails a child's life to such a degree that almost nothing else, not even the death of a parent, can compare.
This is why I said in my short that men are more logical and women are more emotional. Because they will make a permanent decision that will have, they will make a permanent decision off of temporary emotions that will cause generational issues. And they don't even think about that. Just like I said in my clip, they don't think about the future. So when they leave and break up the home, they don't even think about the long-term effects it will have on generations to come. They don't even think about that. Right? So the Bible says that a wise woman will build her home and a foolish woman will tear it down. Just think about that. A wise woman will build her home while a foolish woman will tear it down. And that's what happens 9 times out of 10. They will make a long-term decision off of some foolish situation, foolish whatever decision she makes. They're making poor choices. That's what it all boils down to. And then they don't have wise counsel either. They're going to other foolish women for their advice. Right? And what the other foolish woman going to tell them? Yeah, girl, leave him. Another foolish woman telling another foolish woman some foolish advice. Right? We understand how it's going to affect the kids. We know how important it is for the father to be in the child's life and for the child to have a 2-parent household. We know how important it is, regardless of what the situation is. That's why men will deal with all the BS. Men will deal with disrespect. Men will deal with being unappreciated. Men will deal with whatever foolishness this woman, they got to go through in the house. We'll deal with it for the sake of the kids. As long as we're in the kids' life, we would deal with all the BS. Women, on the other hand, they really, for the most part, they got to deal with BS too. I'm not just putting it all on the women because, like I said in my video, my short, nobody's perfect. So men, we bring BS too, right? But this is why I always talk about conflict resolution. Y'all go to the table, excuse me, y'all go to the table and y'all talk about it. Y'all talk about whatever issues y'all have and y'all come to a conclusion of how to fix it. If there's no abuse, physical abuse or mental abuse or cheating going on, then why are y'all getting divorced? A woman would divorce even when that's not going on. They would divorce over something that could be fixed and break up the household and have the kids now going between two houses, not even thinking about how it affects them. They don't even care. They don't even take into consideration how it may affect the kids and how the kids feel about it. They don't even care what the kids think. Right? And most of the times, men are the ones being abused in a relationship. A man will be mentally abused, verbally abused in a relationship. Women are abusive. This is one thing that we don't talk about. They always talk about men being abusive, but what about the abusive women who are verbally and mentally abusive to their husbands? But a man would still stay with a verbally abusive woman, emotionally abusive woman. And sometimes women are physically abusive. They would hit on a man. They would hit him. But a man's not going to do nothing. He's not going to tell about it. He's not going to call the cops if a woman is physically abusing him, and he's not even going to talk about it if a woman is verbally abusing him. Right? So this is pretty much what I was saying in that short, but I'm breaking it down even more this time so the goofies can understand what I'm talking about. Roll the next clip.
Most men do not initiate divorce like women do, but have you ever wondered why? It's not because they can't, because they totally can. It's not because they're weak. A man will literally endure a sexless marriage, a tense marriage, a loveless marriage, if it means he gets to see his kids every morning. He will tolerate the disrespect, the distance, and the neglect. But what's the alternative? If he initiates divorce, it can cost him his children, and that means another man in his home, another man influencing his son, another man around his daughter. And that's his trigger, because a man is biologically wired to protect. So he stays. He's protecting access to the people he loves and would literally die for. But this is the truth that I need to tell you, men. Enduring all of that has a big cost. Your kids see it. They see the disrespect. They see the tension. They see the lack of love. They see their dad shrinking in his own house. And guess what they learn?
And that is another thing, people. That is another thing. That is showing how goofy a lot of these women are. They will literally forfeit their protection of not only themselves, but the protection of their kids. They will put themselves and their kids in a vulnerable position because you now took the protector out the home. Men are protectors by nature, especially me. I'm a protector. I always been a protector. I always protected the ones I love. I was the family member when there was anything going on in the family, they called me. If any of my cousins had something going on, they called me. Every time. I was the one they called if something had to get handled, if you know what I mean. And I've been like that with everybody I'm around. I'm a protector, especially when it comes to my family. One of the reasons why I chose my now ex-wife is because she is so small and frail. I just wanted to make sure I just wanted to protect her because I'm a protector by nature. My name literally means warrior. I am a warrior. I always have been a warrior, right? So I'm protective of the ones I love. So when they break up the home, you're literally forfeiting your protection, which is goofy, which is dumb. You're now putting your kids in a situation to be preyed upon. Not only your kids, yourself. It's goofy. This is how foolish these women are, right? What you gonna do if someone tries to break in the home or something, God forbid? What you gonna do if somebody tries to take the kids, God forbid? What you going, like, a lot of the times they don't even really, this is how goofy they are. They will literally bring a predator in the house. Sometimes the men they choose, they're so goofy, they would choose a predator as their new man. They don't even do the background check on a new man that they might bring into the home. Because you hear a lot of cases where it was the new boyfriend that abused the kids. They don't even think about that. I know this one story. I actually knew this dude, and it's crazy because from the jump of when I first met this guy, I didn't like him. He never sat right in my spirit. There was something wrong with this guy. I knew it. Like, I could see him and I was like, yo, this dude, like, every time he came around, my spirit didn't feel right every time this guy came around. Right? So long story short, the dude moved to Maryland with a woman who had a child. The woman used to go to work every day and leave her child home with him. The guy ended up deleting the lady's child while she was at work. She would go to work and leave the boy at home with him for him to watch. When she was at work one day, he deleted the boy by beating the boy. Right? So these are the things that I be talking about. This is why one of my main missions of my channel is we're going to bring a lot of value, but one of my main missions is to keep the household together for the sake of the community. Because when family units are together, it makes a better community. We bring more to the table. We bring more. The community is way better. You know, where all these criminals and all these cases of crime and why our young boys end up in the prison system is because they grew up in single family homes. That's a real thing. That's a statistic. Most of the kids that end up in the prison system come from single family homes or broken homes. So in order to fix this problem, we got to keep the families together. Right? So with that being said, man, like, share, and subscribe. Greatly appreciated. I'm just getting started, y'all. I'm just getting started. There's so much value that's going to come from this channel. It's not even funny because I don't just plan on just this being a regular channel. This is about to be a community right here. This is about to be a community. We about to win together, y'all. We about to come up together. We about to get it out the mud together. We about to fix the community together from this channel right here. Not saying that I'm the only one who's doing it, but that's my mission of this channel. Right? So hit that subscribe button, man. Like I said, I'm just getting started. Y'all be easy. Have a good day.